Hello, my name is Tazen from casaGeo, the data science and location intelligence company. Today I would like to introduce you to the Location Optimizer Macro from Alteryx. Maybe you have already worked with the other macros, standard, batch, or iterative macro, and you know the advantages. The fourth macro you can choose from Alteryx is the Location Optimizer Macro. Just like the iterative macro, loops are run through. But the difference is that an optimization model is also called in the background. The macro then runs until the model has reached an optimal state. What does this mean? Here is an example. You are responsible for location planning in your company. In a city you have 3 shops and one of them unfortunately has to be closed. But which one do you close? The simplest solution is to close the location with the worst profit figures. But that doesn't have to be the right decision. Since they are usually not independent of each other, closing one location will affect the sales of the others. If you close one location, customers will either go to one of the other 2 or to the competition. So you check how the closure of shop A would affect the 2 locations B and C and thus the result for the locations in the city as a whole. You do the same for location B and location C. In other words, you run through 3 scenarios and at the end select the location for which the income of the other 2 locations is the highest in total. The decisive factor here is that you want to find the optimum for the entire system, that is the optimum for all remaining locations in the city, and that you do not look at the individual location in isolation. You have successfully completed the project and now you are to close 2 in the next city where you have 4 locations. You proceed according to the same principle, except that now you no longer have to work through 3 or 4 but 6 scenarios. Namely, scenarios where the following 2 locations are closed: A, B, A, C, A, D, B, C, B, D and C, D. After you have also successfully implemented this project, it is time for the next city, in which 2 out of 5 shops must be closed. In this case you have to play through 10 scenarios and compare them at the end. In the first larger city, when 3 out of 10 shops are to be closed, you are already at 120 scenarios. You can still manage all that, but at the latest when you have to close 20 shops in your core area with 120 shops, you will have to give up. That is no longer solvable with the previous method. Mathematically, you can calculate the number of scenarios with the binomial coefficient, that is n over k. Here n is the total number of locations and k the number of shops to be closed. Let's do some quick math. 3 over 1 equals 3. 4 over 2 is equal to 4 times 3 times 2 by 2 times 2. 5 over 2 is equal to 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 by 3 times 2 times 2. 10 over 3 is equal to 120 and 120 over 20 equals 2.94622 times e to the power of 22. With the Location Optimizer macro you can also solve such problems. But even the macro will not run through all possibilities. Instead, a random start scenario is set and the optimal state is determined based on this scenario. In our example, the highest profit for the core market with 100 remaining shops. The advantage is obvious: we can decide which 20 shops should be closed based on our model. The disadvantage is not so obvious but important to know. The macro will deliver a result that is the best under the chosen starting conditions. However, it does not have to be the best solution overall. If we change the starting conditions, the result can also change. Practically, this means that you should run the macro several times and then select the solution that gives the best result. But this does not mean that you will get the best solution if you run the macro often enough. It may be that there is no unique and therefore best solution for your question. You will always get a good solution. Maybe the best, maybe not. So much for today. I will show you how this works in practice in the next video. If you liked the video, give us a like, and if you are interested in the topics of data science and location intelligence, then subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your time.